Spring 2017 has surely been quite the mixed bag in terms of anime. On one hand, we have the big name action anime, and well, on the other hand, we have a different kind of action. Hello everyone, this is the RPG Monger, and today I'll give you the best and the worst of Spring 2017. Though keep in mind, these are only the ones that I have seen. If I missed any classics, do tell me in the comments. To get them out of the way, let's start with the worst, shall we? And I'm sure some of you may have seen this coming, but Eromanga-sensei really was doomed from the start in my opinion. For example, the author of its light novel is kind of infamous for their previous work on a light novel that received major backlash from its niche cis-con audience because, and I'm not lying, the editors literally had to hold the author back from giving the light novel a full incest ending. So guess what happened with Eromanga-sensei? The romantic plot is instead centered around step-siblings, because that completely solves the problem, right guys? The worst part is that the story really did have potential with it being centered around the authors of light novels, and there even being some funny jokes here and there. But it's absolutely ruined by the harem that they slip into the anime with the whole lolicon cis-con plot they're going for. Come on A1, you clearly have the potential to make great anime. I mean hell, you made Erased for example. Why do you do this to yourself? Oh, and to top it all off, guess who voice acted the extremely generic and dull protagonist? The voice actor of Kirito. I rest my case. Then there's Clockwork Planet. I'll keep this brief as I've already talked about it before. Basically, if you want cool visuals and garbage plot coupled with copious amounts of fan service, then go ahead. But I for one just cannot sit through these cookie cutter characters and situations. Now, Berserk 2017. Look, I trusted you. I defended you at the beginning of the season out of hope that maybe things would get better with the second season. And for a while, there were more and more 2D segments like in the ogre fight. But then, you absolutely crushed my dreams and ruined one of my favorite scenes in general from just about anything. So you know what? That's it. I have defended you twice now in hopes of something getting better, but that's where I draw the line. How in the hell did they manage to make the entire Berserker armor scene look this bad? I just can't even deal with this shit, so no. Don't watch Berserk 2017. The manga would do you way better in my opinion. Alright, then there's Love Tyrant. This one's a real mixed bag in my opinion. While it is for sure not as bad as the aforementioned anime, the pacing was a bit off-putting in my opinion, and some of the plot points were a bit in the no-no zone. Though there is some okay comedy in there, with the tropes and cliches used throughout the show, so if you look past all of that and watch it purely for the comedy, then I can kind of understand why people will like it. Though it's not for me. Though now, let's get into some of the better shows of the season. Akashic Records of a Bastard Magic Instructor. Wow, that was a mouthful. It's pretty good, honestly. I went into it expecting your typical magic school plot with a bit of harem mixed in, but I was pleasantly surprised. I haven't finished it yet, but the characters are pretty decent besides some blatant cliches. But here's the kicker. This anime actually uses those said cliches to its advantage, which I always love to see happen in these light novel adaptations. So give it a look. It's more charming than you'd expect. Then we have Grimoire of Zero, another light novel adaptation that brings a familiar plot device, a story of misunderstanding with a quest for redemption as it were. Now, I've seen plots like these many a time in the past, and one would think that this kind of thing would get old, but while the characters are pretty standard, I feel this anime is just entertaining enough to be worthy of a watch, with characters that are, yes, nothing new, but still not bland and generally interesting. I'll keep this one brief as I've also made a video on this one, but I feel I have the unpopular opinion on Wadao Salesman U, and I can understand why people don't like it, but for me personally, if you're looking for a decent episodic series with a unique art style, then I would for sure direct you to this anime. Adam the Beginning is another one that I feel kind of went unnoticed this season. With production IG behind the anime, it has some fantastic visuals, and as a prequel of sorts to Astro Boy, I feel it is at least deserving of a chance. Now, a bit of a note here. I won't go too into detail on shows that will continue on to next season, as they still have a lot more to do. But just take it from me, Sakura Quest is quite good and deserving of your time. But that's enough on that. Alice to Zoroku has got to be, in my opinion, one of the best anime this season, with the main characters being an old man and a young girl who is still learning a lot about the world. Oh, and she also has supernatural powers, but I've gotta say, the dynamic achieved by this anime is truly something of a treasure, and the balance between the darker subplots and cute, heartwarming scenes make this anime one of the best for me. Once again, I have already made a video on Little Witch Academia, so I can't add much to the conversation there, but as a more condensed version, all I'll say is, if you've been watching a lot of heavy and dark anime, then Little Witch Academia is a perfect breather, especially for this anime season. But now onto the two titans, pun intended. With Boku no Hero Academia's second season, after starting off a bit slow to get us back into the swing of things, it really did end up becoming a hearty continuation. Though that's all I'll say for now, as it still has a whole other season's worth of episodes ahead of it. Attack on Titan's second season, however, I have conflicting thoughts about. Now, I will admit, going into it, I was pretty blinded by hype, and rightfully so, as that first episode did a perfect job of getting me back into it. Though halfway through, and I don't know if this is just me, but it would get to the point where nothing at all would happen in an episode until the very end, only for us to get a to be continued. Maybe the first season did this too. It's been so long since I originally saw it at this point, but that really threw me off quite a bit. Though I won't lie, it really did pull together in the end, and I honestly prefer it over season 1. And hey, we're getting season 3 next year, so it isn't that bad. So there you have it, the good and the bad of spring 2017, or my overglorified way of recommending anime to you all. And do give me feedback on what you think I should have mentioned, or whether you agree or disagree with me. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, do subscribe. And today's cool thing of the day is the Trigun manga, because as I've been reading it, I have to say, the anime is barely anything like it, and not in the best way. Though that being said, I am the RPG Monger, and don't forget that each and every one of you are fantastic.